If you've ever lifted the lid on a compost bin and seen earthworms wiggling through the layers of decaying food and plant matter, you've stumbled upon something powerful. It might look like chaos at first, slimy scraps, half-rotted leaves, and a mess of tunnels. But what's happening in there is nothing short of a transformation. Earthworms aren't just passengers in your compost system, they're active agents of change. And if you let them do their job, they'll take your compost from good to exceptional. To understand how earthworms improve compost, it's important to see the pile not just as a bin of waste, but as a living system. Traditional composting relies on microbes and fungi to break down organic material over time, but when earthworms are introduced into the mix, everything accelerates. The process becomes more efficient, more complete, and produces a more valuable end product, vermicompost, also known as worm compost. This material isn't just decayed organic matter, it's a biologically enriched soil amendment filled with nutrients in plant-available forms. One of the most immediate benefits earthworms bring to a compost pile is speed. Their bodies are designed for eating and processing organic material. As they consume decomposing food scraps, paper, leaves, and grass, they grind it down internally, increasing the surface area of the material and making it easier for microbes to break it down even further. This process, known as comminution, is like giving your compost pile a turbo boost. But the magic doesn't stop with decomposition. What the worms leave behind, commonly called worm castings, is where the real treasure lies. These castings are essentially digested compost, but they're far more than that. They contain higher levels of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and trace minerals than standard compost. Even more importantly, the nutrients in worm castings are in a form that plants can absorb immediately. They don't require further breakdown, making them a slow-release, gentle fertilizer that nourishes plants over time without burning roots or leaching away in rain. Worm castings also bring structure to the soil. Their texture is fine and crumbly, which helps improve soil aeration and water retention. When mixed into clay soil, they loosen compaction. When added to sandy soil, they help hold on to moisture. The movement of worms in the compost pile creates another advantage: aeration. Just like in soil, their tunneling introduces air into the compost, which is essential for aerobic microbes to thrive. Compost piles that go anaerobic tend to smell, slow down, and even become harmful to plant roots due to the production of toxic compounds. Worms help prevent that. Their constant churning ensures that oxygen flows through the pile, maintaining a healthy balance between moisture and airflow. This not only speeds up decomposition but also maintains a neutral pH and a more pleasant working environment around your compost bin. For those working in tight spaces or with limited outdoor areas, vermicomposting offers a simple yet effective composting solution. A worm bin can be set up in a basement, kitchen corner, balcony, or shaded patio. With red wigglers, Eisenia fetida, as your composting partners, you can turn kitchen scraps into high-value compost in just a few weeks. These worms are ideally suited for life in a bin. They stay near the surface, reproduce quickly, and consume large amounts of food relative to their size. They're also remarkably resilient, provided they have a moist, dark, and cool environment to work in. Even in traditional outdoor compost piles, allowing earthworms to find their way in naturally can transform the process. Avoid turning your compost pile too often if worms are present, as their tunnels and colonies can be disrupted by aggressive aeration. Instead, feed the pile regularly with a balance of greens and browns, keep it evenly moist like a wrung-out sponge, and provide a few quiet corners where worms can work undisturbed. Some gardeners even go a step further and create worm-rich compost stations directly in their garden beds. By burying food scraps in designated compost trenches or inserting in-bed worm bins, you can encourage worms to process organic matter right where you want the nutrients, next to your plant's roots. The result is not only compost, but active soil regeneration happening in real time. Worms feed, tunnel, and cast nutrients into the soil, creating fertile microzones of intense biological activity. Over time, this improves root penetration, water management, and overall plant vitality. Ultimately, earthworms are nature's most efficient recyclers. They don't just help with composting, they turn it into something more than the sum of its parts. Their presence transforms waste into wealth, dead material into living soil, and inert piles into dynamic systems full of microbial life. And unlike machines or additives, worms work quietly, consistently, and indefinitely, so long as you provide them with food, moisture, and shelter. If you've been composting without earthworms, now is the time to invite them in. Whether through a dedicated worm bin, a passive compost heap, or a trench system right in your raised beds, the benefits are immediate and long-lasting. You'll get faster decomposition, richer fertilizer, improved soil structure, and a garden that's biologically alive from the roots up. If this guide helped deepen your understanding of vermicomposting and soil health, make sure to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this with fellow gardeners who want to turn food scraps into gold. There's a whole underground world working to support your garden. It's time to partner with it.